everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a Pilates Reformer workout that's going to be all done while side lying. So we're going to get some good work for our legs and our arms and do it all while lying down, which is kind of nice. So have some kind of head support close by. I'm going to use a yoga block. You could use a small ball or a towel rolled up, something just to give your head an additional little bit of support. Okay, so have that on your headrest, straps on your shoulder rests, and then I'm going to start with just a single red spring on, and I've also got my foot bar down just because we're not going to need it, so it's out of the way. All right, so let's get started. We're going to lay down on our side. You're going to put an ear on whatever head support you've got, and then you want to scoot your hips back pretty far on your carriage so you have enough room in front of you to tuck your knees up. Okay, so now grab the strap that's right in front of your nose. You're going to use your feet to push off of your platform, and then you're going to put your top foot into your loop. Okay, so kind of get situated. You're going to stack your knees and ankles on top of each other, and you want to feel a little bit of a lift of your waistline off of the carriage, just slightly. Okay, so now hover your top knee, have the rope running between your two knees, and then we're just going to start by stretching and bending this top strapped leg. So I like to hold the shoulder rest with my hands. That kind of helps make me feel more secure. But you hold wherever you like. Okay, so you can exhale as you kick down, inhale to return. Now if you kick your leg too far back, you'll know it because the rope will kind of come too close to your face. So think more of kicking on a slightly forward diagonal. All right. Now I want you to bend your knee and pause. Now we're going to get the hamstring a little more involved. You're going to kick your foot forward and then pull your leg straight back. And we'll do that again. So 1, we bend. 2, you kick the leg in front of you, and then 3, you pull it back into line. Very good. Now all while the legs are moving, we want to have our spine and our hips stay as still as possible. So you want to feel neutral through your low back. You don't want to feel like you're tucked and rounded, but nice and long. And hopefully that little pocket under the waistline stays there. Now let's finish up this last one, and then we're going to reverse. So we kick forward with the straight leg, bend it, and stomp down. Swing it out, bend the knee, and then press. Good, and you can smooth this together to make it one nice fluid motion. All right. Okay, let's do 1 or 2 more here. You can always change the spring tension if it's not working for you, all right? Listen to your body. Okay, now pause with the leg reaching straight down, and we're going to go into external rotation. So take your knee and toe and rotate towards the ceiling from that hip. Now as you bend your knee, it looks almost more like a frog. So the knee is coming above the rope, and then you push away. Good. So knee kind of comes towards the shoulder, making sure to not collapse the waist into the mat. Yeah, we want to keep that active lift under the bottom side. So we should start to feel this in this outer thigh and glute of the top leg pretty quickly here. All right, now just like before, we go into that kind of bicycle kick action. We bend the knee, reach it up to straight, and then pull down. So 3 movements: bend, reach, and then pull. So good. Now try to keep your hips pretty well stacked. You don't want to feel like you're rolling backwards off of your machine. Yes, we want that rotation to come from inside of the hip joint rather than just from us rolling backwards. All right, now we're going to reverse it. So at the bottom, now we lift up with a straight leg, bend at the top, and press the heel down and through. So we lift, we bend, and then carve the foot down. Yes, and again, if that rope is getting too close to your face, angle the leg more forward. If the pelvis has rolled back, that's going to be another reason that that rope is too close. Whew. All right, so now we're going to draw some big leg circles. You're going to reach the leg up straight, drop it forward, and then pull back. So now the knee stays straight. It's a lot more hamstring heavy. If you ever start to feel too tired, you can use a little bit of help from this top hand on the rope. So good. Let's do one more in this direction, and then we're going to reverse it. And it's just your biggest circle, all right? Let your hip externally rotate to help you facilitate that big shape. Very good. Make sure to kind of unlock the back of your knee just a little bit so we're not hyperextending. Whew, last big circle here. Whew. All right, bend the knee and rest for a second. Okay, so we've done parallel, we've done turned out. Now we're going to do a little bit of internal rotation to balance us out, okay? So I want you to start with the knees bent. You're going to take your heel and knock it up a little bit higher than your knee, and think about aiming the toes towards the floor, okay? Now, not some huge angle. You don't want your foot pointing way up. That's a little extreme. Just very slight. Okay, now from here, we're just going to kick the leg up. My heel ends up the highest point, and then we knock the knees back together. That's all. Kick and then down. So we're kind of kicking up on just a slight diagonal. That's it. So making sure that rotation is coming from the hip, not just from the ankle and the knee. Whew, this is not an easy one. Whew. Okay, let's do a couple more. Keep those toes pointing down to the floor. 2. Now on your last one, pause with the leg long, and we're just going to do 10 little tiny taps. If it's too much, grab the rope to help you. Machine doesn't even need to move. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now just let your foot kind of drag off the front of your machine. Your carriage will come in, and just take a little stretch. Ooh, very nice. All right, once that leg has recovered a little bit, we're going to do one last thing here, and then we'll switch to the other side. So stack the knees back up, ankles and knees are touching. Now this time I want you to take the rope and lay it across the top outside of the knee. Okay, so now we're going to do some clamshells, and the knee is going to be pressing into the spring tension. So glue the ankles together, and then just start opening and closing that top knee. Now, you're not going to move very much. It's going to be a very small, tiny, tiny targeted movement. That's it. So maybe like an inch in either direction is all the movement you're going to get. Good. Coming back to your breath. Keep those heels connected. Let's do 3 more. Getting into those deep rotator muscles of the hip. Last one. All right, now last thing here, we're going to increase our range of motion. Keep the ankles together, but just swing them up a little bit higher so they come away from the mat. Now keep them where they are and continue with that same motion of the top knee opening and closing. And you're going to feel the carriage moving a little bit more. So good. Now this bottom outer thigh gets involved as well. Let's do 3 more. Last 2. Last one. And then go ahead and rest. All right, take the foot out of the loop, and let's turn around and do that all with the other leg. All right, so here we go. Same setup, except our new ear is on the block. Scoot the hips back so that this bottom knee can be fully supported on the carriage. All right, so push off with your toes, top foot in the strap. Knees are stacked. Good. So now maybe you can kind of see the lifting of the waistline now that I'm facing this new direction. Hover the knee. Make sure the hip, the knee, and the ankle are in line. And then we start pressing and bending. Good. Gripping the shoulder block if that's helpful to you. Good. Now just come back to your breath. Find your angle on this side so that rope isn't too close to your face. So those outer thighs are working the whole time to keep the leg elevated. That's it. So the less everything else moves, the more we're going to be able to feel it right where we want it, in that hip. All right, you guys, now bend the knee, and we're going to go into that bicycle kick. So you're going to kick your foot forward and then pull straight back. 1, kick out, and pull. Yeah, and it's okay if your knee doesn't get all the way straight. Just find the angle and the size of circle that works for you. That's it. Good. Try to relax any tension that starts creeping up into your neck and shoulders. Now go ahead and reverse it. So we go forward with a straight leg, bend and kick through. 1, scoop and press. Yeah, the further you let the leg drift forward, keeping it straight, the more stretch you'll feel in that hamstring. So good. 2 more times. Make sure the leg isn't going above or below hip height. Whew. All right, now let's go externally rotated. So the knee and toes angle slightly up, and then we bend and stretch. That's it. So check in. The waistline hopefully isn't collapsing. In and push away. Whew. Gets a little bit more intense as we turn the leg out, but keep it going. You've got that trick in your back pocket of grabbing the rope if you need the support. All right, now adding our bicycle kick in this external rotation. We bend, reach the foot to the sky, and pull straight down. 1, reach up, 2, drag, 3. Very nice. So once you set that thigh where you want it, it's going to stay as we extend the lower leg and then pull. Amazing. All right, now let's go ahead and reverse it. So up with our long leg and then bend and dig the heel through. Lift and then press. Ooh, so good. So it's up to you how far you let that leg float. Feels kind of good to get that nice assisted stretch with the help of the rope. Yeah, so we're stretching, but we're moving through these positions. So we really get the benefit of contracting the muscles from this long place. It's like the best of both worlds. All right, now let's draw our circle with a long leg. So now we drop the foot forward, pull straight back and up. That's it. Good. So just really allow that free movement inside the hip socket. Yeah, so the spine and the pelvis are kind of the solid base for that leg to spin around. Very good. It's a lot of work for those abdominals to keep that supported position. All right, now let's reverse. We go the opposite way. So good, you guys. Yes, all those muscles around the hip working. Ooh, through this big end range. All right, last big circle here, and then we'll take a little mini rest. Whew, awesome, so good. Okay, now let's do our internal rotation, the only one we haven't done yet. So knees knocked together, turn the toes to the floor, heel is slightly above the knee joint, and then we kick up on that angle and then down. Yeah, so that diagonal that the shin is making, we just kind of extend the thigh to match that line. Yes, again, nothing crazy. The sole of the foot isn't looking at the ceiling. It's looking over at the opposite corner. So good, you guys. Almost done. Let's do 3 more. Grab the rope if you need to. 2. Now, last one. Pause with a long leg. Toes are down, and we tap for 10, 9. So small, the machine doesn't even move. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now just sweep the foot to the floor, maybe grab the rope, and stretch it out. All right. Okay, last thing here, we're going to bring the knees back together, ankle squeeze, drape the rope outside of the top leg. Okay, we'll start with the feet low, so teeny tiny range of motion. Start with your tiny little clamshells. Good, coming back to all that good alignment we found in the spine. Ooh, such a small movement, but so mean. So it does not take very long to feel it. Good, really pressing into that resistance of the rope. All right, let's do 2 more, and then we'll elevate the feet. So swing them up slightly higher, leave them put, squeezing together, and then open and close. Good, so now we get a little bit of inner thigh work for the bottom leg. So good, last 4, 3, 2, and then last one. Whew. All right, take that foot out of the strap and bring yourself up. Awesome job, you guys. All right, so now our legs got to have some fun. So let's now switch gears and work our arms. So I'm going to go a half a spring lighter. So instead of a red, I'm going to switch to a blue spring. You do what you need. And then we're going to lay back down on our first side and work our arm, okay? If you have double loops, you can hold whichever loop you need to. The longer loop will be a little less resistance, okay? So now my knees tuck up, hips are back so that there's enough room. All right, so now with this next exercise, it's up to you how much challenge you want going on in the lower body. So first option is both knees bent. That's the least intense. Second choice is top leg straight. That's kind of a middle ground of intensity. And then third option is to have both legs straight, which is super tricky. We're not going to be here so long, but you decide, okay? I might kind of play around showing a little bit of all three. But you can be wherever you want the whole time. So now grab your loop, hold the shoulder rest with your bottom hand, reach the top arm to the ceiling. Now I want you to feel like you're kind of dragging your shoulder away from your ear. We're going to draw some circles with this top arm. So make sure the hand is forward of your face. Too far back and the rope will catch you. So hand in front of your body. We're going to pull the arm down. It should meet just forward of our hip. And then we're going to circle the arm to the front to reach up. So 1, we pull down, 2, reach forward, 3, circle up. Yes, and it's okay if you need to switch straps or switch springs midway through. It's all good, just keep moving. Yes, so if your top leg is straight, you're holding it at hip height all throughout. Same goes for if both legs are straight. So you want to keep your bottom leg off of the platform so that inner thigh is active. Now go ahead and reverse the direction. We go forward, then back and up. And we have that same lift of the waist that we practiced in our leg exercise. Very good. So that underarm, that lat is staying active all throughout. Don't let it disconnect. Whew. All right, last one. Now reach the arm straight up to the ceiling, and we're just going to do straight arm pull down. So I tap the hip and then reach back up. Good. Straight down and straight up. Now, a little addition, if you'd like, and if your top leg is straight, you're going to lift the leg an inch or two to meet the hand and then drop it on the return. Good. So we get a little extra outer thigh, little stability challenge. That's it. This will work with the bottom leg straight or with it bent. Very good, you guys. All right, now for the last one, just leave the leg down, pull the arm by your hip, and we're going to do a couple of tricep presses. Angle your fingertips towards the ceiling so the arm is externally rotated. Elbow close but not touching your side. That's it. Feel long through that body. Last 2. All right, now pause with the arm straight. Have your palm facing your thigh, and now we're going to reach the arm forward and then back. Whew, so challenging. Taking the arm away from the midline. Okay, now I think I'm going to switch to the long loop. I'm starting to feel it. With the legs, when the arm goes forward, the legs are going to go in opposition. So almost like kind of a scissor. The arm goes front, the top leg goes back, and then they meet in the middle. Arm front, leg back, meet in the middle. That's tricky. So we get that hip extension, reach, and then pull. Do that 2 more times, almost done. Rest that bottom leg if you need to. All right, last thing here, squeeze the ankles together, and now we do little teeny tiny tricep presses with the fingertips pointing forward. So now we're parallel. Could even use a little help from the bottom arm if you needed it, pulling on the rope. Let's do 3 more. Suddenly that blue spring doesn't feel so light. 2. Last one. All right, come on down. Short and sweet, but man, not easy. All right, let's do all of that on our new side. So flip yourself over. Here we go. Okay, if that spring worked for you, you can keep it or feel free to adjust. Arm reaches high, and then we start our circles. Yeah, so allowing that shoulder to rotate as the arm moves. Good. Start playing around with where you like to be with the legs. Good. All right, and then let's reverse and go the other direction. Very nice. Big reach. Good. If the rope is too close to the face, keep the hand more forward of the body. All right, you guys, now pause with the arm up to the ceiling, and then we're just going to pull straight down and straight up. Hand arriving slightly in front of you. Good. Now the addition of the leg, if you like, the top leg is going to lift to meet the dropping hand and then return. Exhale as they meet. Inhale to return. Now this doesn't affect the waistline. We keep the lift, so it's all happening from the hips down. Awesome, you guys. Let's do 2 more. Now don't lift the leg on the last one. Just arrive with the hand down and start your externally rotated tricep presses. Yeah, so this is tricky. Good for our shoulder mobility to be in this turned out place. So good. Nice big deep breaths. Now on your last one, pause with your arms straight, palm facing your thigh, and then we reach forward and pull. And pull. So good. Feel that activity under the lat, staying connected. So good. Now maybe the top leg reaches behind and then returns. Behind. Long loop time for me. Keep going. Reach and return. Whew, this is my first reformer workout back after a few days off, so I think I'm needing to ease my way back in. Whew. All right, you guys, last one. Now pause with your ankles together. Do your parallel tricep presses. We're so close to being done. Good. Power through. You can use your bottom hand to help pull on the rope. 3, 2, and last one. All right. Bend the knees. Set your strap down. Roll over onto your back, and you probably don't need your head support anymore, so I'm going to set my block aside, and then let's just take a quick little cool down here together. So you can rest your feet on the platform, reach your arms to the ceiling. Now take an inhale and just let your arms fall off to either side, and see if you get a nice little stretch through your chest and shoulders. Now as you exhale, just wrap your arms around, give your chest a big hug. Good. Now do that again. Inhale to open. If you're too close to the shoulder rest, scooch away a little bit. Now cross your new arm in front as you give yourself a tight squeeze. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, widen, and then exhale, alternating the forward arm. Very good. Last time. So nice. All right, let's take a quick figure 4 stretch for our legs since they did quite a bit for us as well. So cross an ankle over knee. Take a quick just little rock side to side. Yeah, kind of loosen up those hips and spine. Good. Now float the legs up, grab the back thigh, and just pull the whole shape towards you. Good. Breathing deeply. You can rock side to side here if that feels good. You can also have this back leg straight and grab over top if you want a little more hammy stretch. You could also pick your head up off of the carriage to deepen a little bit. So you pick where you'd like to be. Bent knee, I find you get a little more hip and glute stretch. All right, let's do that on our new leg. So cross it over, knee away from your body, and then just take a few rocks to kind of oil everything up through the spine. All right, and then when you're ready, deepen the stretch by pulling the shape towards you. Breathing through it, maybe rocking it a little bit here. Back leg straight for more hamstring. Arms over top and head up for a little bigger stretch. Oh, all right, you guys. And with that, we are all done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's workout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. Leave me a comment down below if you have any feedback or requests for future videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye!